What does someone want to tell you? Your beloved, your darling, your desired partner? What is it that might be on his mind? When you might have been together at some point, getting to know each other phase, contact, friendship. What's currently going on with him? Or what was it? What concerns him regarding the contact with you? Maybe there was an abrupt break. And now let's take a look at what the unspoken is, what slumbers inside him, what occupies him. Dear ones, a very, very warm hello to you, a big hug to you. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for your kindness in the comments. As every day, it is so wonderfully beautiful. And every comment touches me. And I really read through each and every one. And I thank you for your cooperation, for your togetherness in the community. And what you give me with your kindness, your loyalty, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to everyone who is new here, a very, very warm, heartfelt hello and welcome. And I hope that everyone feels comfortable here and that I can also send positive energy to everyone here. Dear ones, another thank you to the channel members who have now decided again or newly for a channel membership. Thank you very, very much for that. And we have a giveaway every week of a 30-minute phone reading, and the coming week from the Big Deck Plus, the love reading. My dear ones, now let's take a look. And you know, we are in the collective readings, are gender neutral. Person cards, this is your loved one, both male and female. And a collective reading cannot apply to everyone. Also, I would like to mention again, when it is shown here, we are in the collective. When it is shown here, it has to do with another person. He is currently in a relationship with someone else. It doesn't mean that the entire reading isn't relevant for you. That means in the collective, take that out. Go in, transform it for yourself, for your current situation. If nothing fits at all, of course, then the reading is also not for you. There is no piece of the puzzle for you. That is completely fine. Not every collective reading can have something for everyone, but it's very important. Please transform it for yourselves. That doesn't mean if in the big picture there is something that doesn't fit your situation, that the entire reading is not relevant. But I know you always do that. So, and now let's take a look at what someone wants to tell you. Right? We are watching. So now we already have the 9 of coins. So it's about development here. It's about development. And in general, it's about a turning point, a happy turning point. And is like this. This is the surprising thing, that he, or you might not currently believe in, so something is dormant inside him. It's about a development, a turning point. But I still sense a bit of this ignorance in them currently. And perhaps the focus is directed towards something else. But now let's take a look at what exactly we can clarify here. What's going on inside him in this area? What he might also be hiding. So if we start here, we already have the 6 of Swords. And with the 6 of Swords, it is also shown. So as I said, here we have this change, this development. So, and now we have here, it's also about departure. So a change. Just now, yes, this rigidity and this silence that is also here. So I would say right at the beginning, what I can already say is that movement is really coming in here, because here it goes into the departure. So there is still a bit of the fear, perhaps, that blocks him from engaging with it. But what I find really great is that we have a detachment process here. This is a detachment process that has been going on for quite some time because we have the slow speed, but it is moving towards change. And so I would say the journey begins. So something is really moving forward here, but still in this like a main position, which is occupying him. And it's about someone detaching here. This is a detachment process. This is about behavior patterns, maybe from back then, or his or her attitude towards something, but we'll take a closer look at that. As you know, we will definitely get clarity here. No question about it. And now we have growth. So we really have movement here, change, growth. So there's transformation, change, everything included. And there is like, yes, blocked. Maybe. It was rather blocked the whole time regarding this topic. But here is also this growth and this blossoming. Blossoming, especially the relationship with oneself. And that something is also blossoming in love. And there might still be a bit of dependency on someone or something. And yes, maybe also a bit of envy, like with oneself somehow, how dissatisfied as well. So something is not right. So I would say one's self-image looks different to me here than it is about. And what exactly it is, we'll take a look at that too. Yes, so we have a very big issue here. Fears that we mentioned at the beginning are clearly shown here again. And this, do I have to do it wrong now? So what he or she wants to tell you now, his issues. They are quite significant, I would say. And it definitely concerns you, no question about it. But we also have the withdrawal, this reservedness, which is shown here. I would like an explanation for that. Yes. So I would say overall, it's nothing here that is completely stuck with him or her that cannot be resolved. I keep having him in my thoughts because ultimately I have the sadness with him or with her. And what he or she wants to tell you is that it has to do with the fears. The fears are clearly shown here again. Here were the harbingers, and here is definitely the statement. This is what has to do with his inner self. Just don't do anything wrong. The fear of doing something wrong. Above all, he definitely sees himself as smaller than you are. We have this very clearly here. And there is also a topic that concerns him or her, the withdrawal as well. He feels as if he might not be able to meet you at eye level. And there we have a big issue. But outside, I have more appearance than reality. So we really have candidates who show something a bit different on the outside than what's really going on inside them. Because he is like that, he doesn't fully connect with himself, with what's really going on. And he always presents himself as quite small, and that's why he pretends to be something else on the outside. Perhaps also repeatedly withdrawing. Maybe you were in a relationship, and now you feel, when you have the reading, you immediately remember, wait, something was always off here. Something was blocking. There was a lack of ease. Your beloved knows that what you have between you is something very special, because here we have something more evident than anything else. Here is true love, real love with the play. But the love between you, if you were in a relationship, was never truly lived. In the relationship, because he always had the control and the power, I must unfortunately say here, the fear and a bit of dishonesty, the doubts, because the beloved person doubts you, and that is what he wants to tell you. He doubts himself. He doubts whether he can give you everything you deserve. That's how it is. He sees you as something very special, as something great. And that is what you see nothing of from him or her on the outside. That is what slumbers inside him. And whether it's this knee-jerk reaction, separation, withdrawal, ghosting, that is what cannot come to terms with itself. You might see that too, yes. Somehow, maybe stares when they happen or conversations. Always just like this. Short times, so not long. You say, hey, wait, we can talk. You are so relaxed about it. But your loved one is not at all, not relaxed at all, lying here. Because he's also just a little bit cautious that you might perhaps ask too much. Because he sees you as really very smart and actually tries to go into a defensive position to withdraw, to not, yes, disappoint you. To disappoint you that you might see, yes, how he or she really is. And that is indeed the big issue. That's why there's always the withdrawal. And I would say, even if you have been in a relationship, it is beautiful. And your relationship, I would say, is absolutely genuine. It still is, by the way. Because I don't see a complete end lying here. Because there is still something very strong between the two of you. And that is your attraction to each other, the love. There I have the sensuality. There I have the love, the attraction between you. It is so strong and is now also felt very strongly in the heart of the person. And that is what has been in your relationship as well. This connection, this love with each other. But as I said, you haven't truly lived your love. Been able to live it because your beloved has always been in this main position. This not showing everything and presenting oneself as smaller. And that has to do with him, not with you. It has to do with him. Perhaps from his previous relationships. If we take the past now, the previous relationships, there was always this sadness that he sees, okay, maybe I can't have a relationship here at all. Maybe they were relationships that always lasted maybe 1 or 2 years. So, and then it was over. Then the next relationship came again, the same duration, 1 or 2 years, something like that. And that over and over again. And then the bush parted ways. And it didn't work out. So now you come along, and with you, he can't and doesn't even want to move on. I have him more in his feelings now. No matter how long you've been apart, haven't had any contact. There's always something there that draws him to you. He feels attracted to you, just as you do to him. But you tell yourself, boy, come out of your whole mess here. And you say, you see it more lightly. Everything you can only talk. I have him completely closed off here in talking. Those are his fears. And that's what he wants to tell you. He loves you. He knows it's wrong how everything has turned out. He sees you as wonderful. But even greater than he is, and also repeatedly the break. Maybe, as I said, when you are or have been in the relationship, it's always up to a certain point, and then something the complete thing has always been missing here. Maybe short stages and then it was over. If you haven't been in a relationship, then it's like meeting up until a certain time, or for a few days, or also in terms of contact. And then, as soon as it became more intense, he withdrew so that you wouldn't notice that he might be an absolute mess with total chaos reigning in his life. And that he doesn't have various things under control. And that's uncomfortable for him. Because, as I said, he sees you as wonderful. And he sees it, he can't offer you that. His perspective, I can only tell you from his perspective here in the reading, and his perspective is that he might actually be too naive, letting everything happen to him out there, and always following what others say. and there we also have a bit of an excuse artist, then maybe you addressed it with him. Stand up for it. Just say no sometimes. What's the point of that? And then he kept making excuses. No, and it's fine like this. No. And this was, okay, all right. He always sugarcoated it. Why? How come? Why? Because he didn't stand by it, and that's his issue. And that's what he wants to tell you. And he is going through this breakthrough. I definitely see the detachment from the old here, this process which we've already encountered in the tarot. Now we have it here again. The process, this is a detachment process that he or she is currently undergoing. And there he is shedding everything related to his fears. And especially the, oh God, just don't do anything wrong. I found him very shaken. As I said, here he is also reflecting. It's like this. He has always pushed away these thoughts, always pushed them aside, suppressed them. And now we have a complete change. He will also open up to you and tell you that he might have always told you something different. He feels he has to do this there and here and whatever else, and he has no idea. Meanwhile, he might have been completely monotonous, doing nothing at all. Just couch, TV, chips, popcorn, whatever, or pizza or delivery service or something else. And that's always the secret that is kept here as well. And I see this repeatedly because as I see him here, he has a routine, a daily routine that is organized for himself. He needs this routine, needs this structure in it. He might have the impression, wow, you are this and that, and wants to offer you so much. That is a wrong perspective that he or she has, wrong thinking, wrong activities, wrong self-perception, and yet he completely gets there. We have the change. And that is also what you will learn from him. Maybe he doesn't like going out much and isn't really the party type. He might tell you that, but then you can really assume, hey, at home, I don't have a large circle of friends here either. He's very much turned inward, always this withdrawn nature. And as mentioned, always showing something different here. And it's also like this, you feel like you don't know anything about him. The contact is always like this. You think, okay, now I'm trying to pull this out of him. No, but then nothing more comes. I find it quite difficult sometimes in the communication between the two of you. And you don't learn anything more. For example, if he tells you, yes, you then have the feeling, because I also sense this jealousy issue with you, jealousy in public. For example, I can tell you here now, if he or she says, or you notice, or your thoughts, that's a perspective I have. You have a bit of the feeling, okay, he's not getting in touch because maybe he has someone else here. Exactly. You are completely in doubt here. You are the pessimist. Pessimism, just like with him. I have him completely tuned to be pessimistic about himself. So now with you, the pessimism you pick up from outside, your thoughts, your assumptions that I have, you say, okay, he does that. He might really go out and party, right? Or maybe he's meeting someone else here now because, as I said, it's a jealousy issue. But I can tell you it's different. I see your loved one being very active here, very active. I say active, but professionally. I see work here, not partying hard, but work that's being done. He has to repair that. Then something is being renovated or something is being done with the car, screwing work and this and that and that. But that's what you currently don't know. But between you, there's this attraction. There's no cut between you. It's just in the now. But the cut that I see between you, this togetherness of yours, it's as thick as you are together. And that's also what he wants to tell you. The feelings are there. He just can't right now. He can't, but he is completely involved in resolving the whole thing. He is in this process of detachment, and we have it here twice. There is movement, there is really activity, and the detachment process will become even more intense. A person dear to the heart wants to get out because he can no longer cope with his situation. And above all, what I find beautiful here is that he completely embraces this change, this transformation, because you are important to him. Very important indeed. Now let's see what else we get. Yes. I find it very interesting now. Very beautiful above all. Okay, we have the Three of Wands. So your dear one will become open towards you, and he will not be able to resist this closeness, this attraction anymore. He wants it, and believe me, he will make a move, because I clearly see the conversations here. Very clearly, I have this connection, the change above all, which I clearly see here. For him, it's about building something stable with you. Stability, change, turning point, transformation. Because there is nothing here that cannot be resolved. I have him a little blocked right now. Yes, but the big picture here, considering that I have the complete detachment process. As I said, we have the detachment process here twice. So this confirmation once again included. So then Three of Wands. Yes, there is this transition that is shown once again, just a little bit. Maybe the situation a bit caught up in itself, but it's also important that he has that. Because as I said, he is detaching from it. He doesn't want all of this anymore. He wants the past, the topic. I mean, you can't erase the past, obviously, but from these behavior patterns, these assumptions, because he now feels he's actually completely disappointed, also disappointed in himself, because he increasingly feels what he might have let go of here, lost. And that's you. That's love. And as I said, this attraction again and again, I also have him very much living in thoughts. He can't get you out of his mind, clearly. So this reading, and I think we've also had this a bit in the energy in the last readings, that thoughts play a very strong role here. You keep popping up in his thoughts. So as I said, with the wands, it goes into his self-confidence, into the confidence. And there's also more of this foresight, right? No more of this stagnation, and especially exploring the new, this curiosity as well. It moves out of the restraint. And there's also this confidence. And he will try, seize the opportunity, because he knows exactly that he can have a happy relationship with you. Above all, he wants to make you happy. And he knows, both of you, if you live your love, a happy relationship, because you have an absolute one. He wants to create this healthy foundation between the two of you, which might have been a bit strained back then. And then what I also find beautiful now, we have the world included as well. So it goes completely into ease, into completion. We have a journey here, once again, the journey. And there it goes. The journey is the unity between the two of you. And once again, you both have actually found the right relationship. So there is this symbiosis between you, this nothing can come between you anymore. And that is what wants to emerge. And that is what your beloved wants to tell you. No matter what is in the present, what you see now, what has been, this is what occupies him internally, which, as mentioned, is not visible in the D now. But you surely feel it. Yes. So, as mentioned, the world, the journey begins. The journey for a unity for both of you. It moves out of rigidity, out of isolation, out of this delay, out of this scatteredness, and into completion with both of you. And most importantly, into lightness, the lightness that somehow has never been there with you, maybe briefly, and then something came up again. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching and wish you a wonderfully beautiful rest of the day. Goodbye.